Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
Festivus for the rest of us. Remember that, Steve?
Yeah, from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I've never seen Seinfeld.
That's why I didn't ask you.
Yeah.
Privilege. You probably had cable growing up. Yeah.
I'm Time Warner cable.
It doesn't matter.
You didn't have cable growing up?
No.
Y'all didn't have cable?
That's why we watched Seinfeld.
But y'all lived in a house though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't have cable, but y'all lived in a house.
That was the trade-off.
I lived in the hood.
So you're saying a house or an apartment?
I lived in an apartment.
Okay, all right, yeah, we lived in a house.
Yeah, I lived in an apartment.
That's the trade-off, and we lived in the hood too. So
I want y'all to Google English Woods.
Okay,
in Cincinnati. Google English Woods
project,
because that's where I grew up from. And then from English Woods, we moved to Roseline.
Right. And when did you move to Roseline, where it was soft? When it was cozy.
Oh, he said you grew up in the soft.
Roseline was still on some other.
Wasn't nothing soft about Roseline. It was better than English Woods.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
It was still hood.
It was a Jewish neighborhood.
Oh, so it was definitely good.
And all the hood folks, they slowly but surely started coming in. And then those Jewish people started moving out.
They said, there's too much melanin in here.
It's my hood now.
Let's get up out of here.
It's my hood.
We lived right down the street from the projects. But we lived in the hood, though.
That was in Mount Auburn, right? Or
that was in Walnut Hills.
Oh, Walnut Hills.
Yeah, when we lived in Walnut Hills, there was a street. So it was our house. We were on the edge of Walnut Hills. There was a street, and then the projects was across the street. So
it's like dark over here, sunny and shiny over here.
I wouldn't say that. It was rough over there, man.
Hey man,
my brother was standing at the corner with his friends one day, and the boys just rolled up on him like, "What are y'all doing?"
Isaiah?
Isaiah. This is back when Isaiah was in the hood. Like Isaiah was in the
Isaiah was in the trap.
Hey, there's
Isaiah was in the trap.
Hey man, there's some stuff. Got a colorful.
We're not gonna air him out on the ALK podcast.
Yeah.
Man.
He said he wanted to get on the podcast.
So when we bring him on, we got to get into it.
Yeah, man, Isaiah was in the trap.
Yeah, we got to get into
now he trapping Jesus, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's great to have a man's life change, which is a good thing.
You know what I'm saying? A man's life changed, man.
Jesus. You know what I mean? Beautiful thing. But we ain't in the hood no more.
Oh, no, we definitely not.
I mean, we seen sunshine, rainbows, squirrels climbing up trees, eating nuts. Just a squirrel trying to get a nut. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, let me just, you know what I'm saying? As we get started here, if you're watching the video and you've already made it this far, do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button, right? Hit the like button right now. Whether you watch the whole thing, whether you don't, I don't care. Go ahead and hit that like button.
And the subscribe button.
Subscribe.
If you're on Spotify, make sure you follow. Make sure you listen. If you're on YouTube, make sure you comment, get some questions and all that stuff.
Share.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say ask questions, because today we are going to be answering some questions that you all...
I'm wondering if we got a response from last video.
What did we talk about last video?
A particular subject relating to you and a platonic friend.
Oh, no. I don't think she saw it.
Oh, she avoided it.
I don't think she saw it. I think she wanted me to hit her up to let her know. But
we're not promoting that.
If you wanna see it, I mean, you go look for
follow,
it, or just hit me up and say, "Hey, is it up?" Or I mean, that's about it.
You haven't heard from her since then.
Nah,
that's a good thing.
It's all good though.
She knows.
I'm not tripping. It is what it is. You know what I mean, everyone's living their own life, but this is the Application of Knowledge podcast. I am Animated Mel, Chris James, and Stephen Michael is here.
Where is I am that I am today?
I'm already that.
All right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, man, we're going to get into some questions. We had some questions that were
asking on questions.
There was a lot of questions that I meant to ask because Cheyenne.
Shout out to Cheyenne.
Cheyenne asked questions a few weeks ago that we couldn't get to.
Okay.
Because we answered some previous questions, so I want to get to that. So Cheyenne on purpose. She asks.
You gotta use her whole name?
That's not her whole name.
Is that her whole screen name?
That's her alias.
Oh, okay. So it's her whole name.
What's her alias?
Okay.
Okay. So I wonder if you all could talk about the different ways to express respect, honesty, and non-negotiable boundaries in our healthy relationship models, whether romantic, friendly, business, and general. And her follow-up to that is not a question, but just a statement. I often have great foundation together and practice it well on my own. But the tricky thing about when other people get involved is that we only have control of ourselves, thankfully. Anywho, I just wonder what you guys' thoughts are. So what are your thoughts on different ways to express respect, honesty, and non-negotiable boundaries in a relationship? Or how do you all feel about that?
Steve, you want to go first?
Yeah.
It's a cup of tea.
I mean, here's the thing. So when it comes to boundaries, the first thing that you have to do is you have to, number one, know what your boundaries are. So before you can start explaining boundaries or withholding them or upholding them, is number one, you have to even know what your boundaries are. What are the things that you are willing to accept? What are the things that you're willing to not accept? Are you willing to negotiate with some of them, right? And then, of course, when you ask your question, what are the ones that you are unwilling to negotiate? You kind of answered your own question here. You cannot determine if someone's going to respect your boundaries or not. The only thing that you can do is then you can place them, and then no one knows what your boundaries are unless you, number one, you tell them. So there's going to be boundaries that you have, whether they be physical, whether they be sexual, whether they be just in the way that they say things. It's really just when those things arise, it is just simply just telling them. Case in point, I have a client and I called her Jess. Well, that's not her full name. Her full name is Jessica. And I was just like, hey, Jess, da 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 da. And it was just wasn't even thinking about it, right? And she responded and was like, hey, just so you know, I don't prefer to be called Jess. I prefer to be called Jessica. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Got you, right? That's a boundary. So it's something that she didn't like. And she just expressed it to me like, hey, I don't like to be called Jess. I prefer to be called Jessica. She set a boundary, right? It's actually very simple. Now, if I then continue to call her Jess, then she needs to then be more stern with me, or just like, hey, listen, we had a conversation before. I told you I don't like to be called Jess. I really would appreciate if you called me by my full name, right? So there are going to be times where you're going to have to set the boundary, and then you're going to have to reaffirm them, or what's the word to can't think of the word.
Reinforce,
right. Or reinforce them. And then if it continues to happen, then at that point in time, you have to determine if this is someone that you want to continue to speak with. Depending on, of course, what it is. If it's something about a name, then, you know, how important is that to you? But if they are non-negotiables, these are things that you need to come up with upfront. And it's really just when you talk about respect, it's really just communicating in a way that person can understand it. So boundaries and communication really kind of go hand in hand. So communication is not just saying it, because a lot of times people will say things and they think that they're communicating very well and they're actually not. So you have to then communicate these boundaries in a way that the other person can actually understand. So the same thing. So something that I would say to you guys, I would not say to my 6-year-old the same way. They're not going to understand it. Am I communicating it? Yes. Am I effectively communicating it? No. So
it's kind of like with love languages. You speak to someone in their love language so that they can feel the love that you're showing them, versus, you know, speaking maybe in your love language, which could be different.
Yeah, correct.
How is it with, okay, but this is speaking, how about business wise? How is your boundaries as far as business? Is there things that you make known, or do you tackle it the exact same way from a particular relationship?
So as far as business goes, I mean, it's boundaries are boundaries. So I would address them the same way. It is simply letting others know. So when it comes to business, boundaries are going to be putting contracts in place, right? So I'm only going to work for X amount of dollars. Or if you have I'm a photographer also, and I require a small deposit prior. And in order for me to start doing your work, in order for me to come out on scene, wherever, I require a deposit. That's a boundary. If someone doesn't pay, then I'm not gonna show up. If someone pays me and they don't show up, I'm keeping your deposit. That's a boundary. If there's something that happens in the business, then it is communicating in a way where we both understand and say, hey, listen, this is my boundary. If you're going to make a change to something, and this is a conversation me and Chris just had recently, if we're going to make a change to something that we're doing, then just let me know and make sure that I really understand it, right? And once again, that really boils down to communicating openly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it comes to business, it's like Steve said, it's the exact same. People are people, and I think it's a good question because there a lot of people don't have boundaries in business, especially when you consider corporate America. Like, just at your workplace and things like that. People it's almost like they're afraid to set boundaries,
right,
for whatever reason, how they're going to look or how they're going to sound. And ultimately, I think we have to remember to put ourselves first. Like, that's the theme of the past years. Make sure that you put yourself first in all situations. Don't be worried about losing your job because you set a boundary, because you have to live with yourself every day. Mm-hmm. So if you're allowing people to run over you at work or whatever the case is, you're going to be unhappy. Forget the money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people understand how important it is to take care of yourself. You take care of you first. You take care of your mental, your physical and everything. You'll be able to provide opportunities for yourself. You don't have to worry about a handout from a job.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of, I think that especially because you have a lot of people in the medical field, so like nursing, and a lot of them are extremely overworked. So, I mean, obviously there's it's a big field, and especially, for women, it's mostly women in that field. So, of course, we hear about it. I'm sure we all do. But they're extremely overworked. And there are going to be times where you need to set a boundary where they're like, hey, Susan, are you, hey, I need you to work some extra shifts today, right? Listen, I can't do it, right? I got my kids at home. I have that, I have another job, whatever the case may be. I've already worked 40 hours this week. It's only Thursday, right? So setting those boundaries, even in the workplace, by saying, I'm not going to take extra shifts. I'm not going to work through my lunch break. I'm not going to do these things. You're going to have to set those boundaries.
Yeah.
Once again, boundaries, they're going to be consequences to everything in life. So, just be aware that setting boundaries is not always also going to be fun. It's not like, it's anything when it comes to emotional intelligence nowadays, they're all buzzwords, and setting boundaries is a buzzword, but we don't understand that setting boundaries isn't fun. It's not going to feel good. Especially if you're not used to setting them, and most of us aren't. And there's also going to be unintended consequences. So if you set a boundary at work and one of your boundaries is, hey, listen, I'm going to put me first and I'm not going to work these extra hours, well, then they may start looking at other people for other positions because you set a boundary.
Yep.
Like, these are things that you have to think about. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing.
When it comes to friendships, are there particular boundaries that you have in place? Like when you're, I guess if we already have an acquired relationship, or if you're looking to get a new relationship or you make a new friend, are there particular boundaries that you set in place to say, in order for you to be my friend, you must meet this criteria? Or do you just let it develop and you see who this person is? Because a friendship is obviously going to be different than a business. And then, a personal relationship or a sexual relationship that you're having, an intimate relationship that you're having, it's going to be a little bit different because there's a lot of things that you typically wouldn't want in a relationship that you have with a woman, but it would be okay if it's a friend, So how do you approach your friendships when it comes to boundaries? Because I know that, I guess you typically would gravitate towards people who have your, I guess, they're like-minded and you all have similar interests. And if you interact with someone who doesn't keep their word and they're not impeccable with their word, and you're a very loyal person, and you know, if you hear someone, you expect someone to, if you say you're going to do something, this is what I'm expecting. And if they don't commit to that, you would naturally be, you know, pushed away from them. So do you feel that needs to be addressed in the beginning, or should it just develop?
Oh, well, when it comes to friendships and versus even business, honestly, yeah, you're going to treat those different. I think that when you deal with like friendships, you know, you kind of should treat them like a business, but you can give people more leeway if it's not that big of a deal. Like, you know what I mean? My thing is this: all the stuff we teach and all the stuff we know, it can be very overwhelming if you apply everything all the time.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of balance. I let things go a lot. But I never forget, right? I always remember how people treat me and how they interact with me. And so therefore, there's a running ledger. All of my, I'm just keeping it real.
Hey, all y'all friends.
All of
got y'all written down.
I know Mel got ledgers. Everybody,
Don't forget nothing.
Everybody has this ledger that runs, and as you do things, as you're flaky with me, or as you don't keep your word, or you know what I mean, you waste my time and you do these things, you just get a little notation on your ledger. You know what I mean? And ultimately,
reprimanding them.
Yeah. You were 2 hours late today.
It's literally a notation.
Oh, you slept again.
Oh, check.
Okay.
Seems that there's a pattern.
There's a pattern.
Interesting.
As I sip my juice. He did it.
I didn't do this.
He did it.
I didn't do this.
I'm snitching. Josh snitching.
No. All I did was I just made a comment. That's it.
Right.
So, fits.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, that's it. All right. Here, take that. So when it comes to friendships, last week we talked about. I was talking about how we look at people and take them as they are. One of the things that I learned when I was studying the faith of Buddhism was the root of suffering is attachment, right? So holding on to things that we really should no longer hold on to is the root of suffering. And one of the things that additionally causes sufferings just in humans in general is expectations. And the higher our expectations for things in life, the lower our serenity. So it's like a seesaw. So you have really high expectations for certain things, the lower your serenity or the lower your peace. So if you expect everybody to do this up here at the highest level, you're going to get let down a lot, because a lot of people are not going to then do the things that you are expecting them to do at that level. So you're going to have a lot of struggle. You're going to have a lot of stress. Okay. The less your expectations, or the lower your expectations, the higher your peace, because you're going to have people that are always exceeding what it is that you're looking for. Now, I want to be very clear. Your expectations and your standards are very different. We have an extremely high level of excellence that we want from people, and we have a standard of excellence, especially when it comes to business, and especially when it comes to friendships. I'm talking about us, right? There's a very high standard, and that's okay. But we need to continue to look at people as they are and not expect them to be what we want them to be, because if we do that, we're going to cause ourselves a lot of stress. So,
yeah. I mean, I think that's smart. I have a question that I want to ask, because I was getting this question while I was hearing you all speak. So, when it comes to dating,
Oh my God,
or being in a relationship,
this man.
in this capacity, me and Steve talked about this off mic few weeks ago. But
Mike,
we when it comes to dating your past relationship, let's say for instance, I was in a relationship with a girl in the past. We're no longer together, but now y'all got
okay.
Somehow now you all gain an interest and you all start dating. How is the feeling? How would you feel about that? Like if one of your close friends, or let's say let's not do me because I wouldn't do it.
Let me ask the question, because I asked you the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'll make it real clear. So Mel, Chris. All right. So let's say that Mel was in a relationship, full blown relationship with a girl, and then I ended up meeting her online. Don't know who she is. I've never met her. Right. I don't know that her and Mel were in a relationship. I don't know. And then I meet her. We start talking. We go on a couple of dates, and I'm like, hey man, y'all, I've been talking to this girl, and it's been fantastic. We're vibing, right? I want you guys to meet her. And then now we've been talking for a couple months. I bring her through, and I'm like, this is my baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is Stephanie, right? I don't know. What, you know what I'm saying? This is Mel, this is Chris, these are my boys, these are my brothers, like,
already hit that, man. Oh, snap. You too, huh?
No. So of course, if that was a situation, I would be shocked. She would be shocked. And then Mel, Chris, you would be shocked also. So then the question is, what happens now?
Man, that's... for me, that's right.
You got some words, Mel?
I mean, go ahead, Chris.
What happens now?
Mel and I are gonna have very different answers.
We probably definitely will.
It honestly depends on the circumstances behind the relationship that I had with this girl, because there's certain girls that you date. You know, men, we categorize the women we've dated, or even women we would potentially date. They all go in little slots. You have the girl that you just hit, whatever. You might not even remember her name. Then you have the girl that you...
Savage, man. Chris got these categories.
Like, what was your
hey, girl, you might have been... Oh, no, somebody watching this. You might have been in the category, and you're going to find out what category you in now.
All right, so then you got the girl that you dated for, you went out a few times, and you was feeling her, but it fizzled out. Then you have the girl that y'all dated, you went out, you made a commitment, y'all went on trips together. And then you have the girl that you did all that with and you thought you was going to marry. So it's like these different girls.
Okay. So
depending on where she is on this scale is going to determine the response. If she's the girl that you thought you was going to marry, she's off limits. It doesn't matter. This
isn't that. We were talking for, let's say, like 2 months, 2 or 3 months, well, even more, right? To a couple months. Maybe we've gone on a trip or two. This is my girlfriend.
No. I'm talking about mine. She was my girlfriend first.
Yeah. That's what I'm just scenario.
So if she was my girlfriend first and she was about to be wifey, she's off limits.
She was not about to be wifey. We were in a relationship.
Okay, so she's off limits. If she was going to be wifey, she's off limits. If she's the girl that you went on a few trips with, you built some memories with, y'all was dating, it fizzled out, it depends on how it ended. Did it end for something, reasonable? It was just maybe we had some deal breakers that we couldn't get around, or was it nasty? Did she do something? Did I do something? That kind of is like iffy. Anything underneath that, it's all good, in my opinion.
I mean, mine isn't necessarily too different.
Really?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so because
come on, man, give it to us straight, man.
Let's see. I'm just trying to think. Like, if I'm thinking of all my ex girls, will I be okay with anybody? Nah, man. It's not happening.
See, it wasn't different. It
was very different. They're all off limits.
It's different because when I'm in a relationship with the women that I'm with, there's time invested.
Yeah.
There's never like a spur moment, like a couple months. No, like I meet their families and we have time invested in. So
they're all wifey.
I can't.
But what about the girls that you just dated?
I don't care about them. I mean, I don't care if you all do it, but I would never do that. I could never do that.
So you do.
No. If you all dated someone and it didn't go nowhere, and they end up being the person that I ended up talking to, I couldn't do it.
What if? Okay, and I think I know the answer to this because we've kind of. I'm starting to learn you more in this sense. But what if it was someone that I had dated just for like a month, and let's say we went out on 2-3 dates, and obviously never brought her up, and then you start talking to her, and now you guys have been dating for a couple months now, and you find out?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on how.
Because I was expecting you to say she's done.
Well,
because you can turn your emotions on and off.
No.
It just depends. Like, how close were you all? If it's just 2 months and it fizzled out, did y'all get it in?
Oh yeah,
if y'all got it in, it's a wrap. I'm not messing with it.
Okay.
I don't go behind.
So what is it? Eskimo? What do they call it? Eskimo bros?
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I could not be with someone that one of my closest friends has slept with.
Okay.
I could not do that.
It's just the thought. The
I couldn't do that.
Okay.
I could not do that. You know. And even if the shoes were reversed, I would never date anyone that I personally would never do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. You know, maybe it's just, I don't want to cross any boundaries. Because I know a lot of people, they have their ego and they'll be like, oh, yeah, it don't matter. But deep down, they be burning inside like, oh, you sleeping with my girl, my ex-girl, and all that stuff. So I don't even want to cross that bridge because when a woman is involved and emotions involved and your friend is involved, it's just too messy, and I just rather avoid the situation altogether. Right. Now, that's unique to me. I know everyone's situation is different or whatever, but if it's someone that I was with, like, son... Nah, cuz.
Yeah. You with everybody. That's what I was saying last podcast. Like,
I'm not with
everybody.
You saying that we lock into these girls.
There's not one girl that I could think of that you dated would go on the list where it's like, oh, it's all good. The only girls that go on that list are the ones you literally was maybe texting and never got to meet, or you went on one date and you was like, nah, I'm good. Like, that's the only ones. There's no in between. It's either we never did anything or we did everything.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I would have to. I'm in between Mel and Chris somewhere. Probably leaning more towards Mel, because I do get emotionally attached, and you know, our past dictates a lot of how we feel and a lot of how we see things. And you know, I found out, not recently, but a few years ago, I found out that one of who I would call a friend was actively pursuing my ex-wife, like actively in her inbox. I mean, actually, it was two of them, and I just was like, this, and I saw the messages, like, and then one of them was actually in the hospital while his girlfriend was giving birth, and he was texting her like, "Yo, let me, what are you doing tonight? I'm gonna come over." Like, yeah, I saw everything, and from two different dudes, and I just was like, these are people that I considered friends, you know, like.
To me, I would immediately X that relationship.
Oh my God, they're gone, right? They're immediately gone. But the fact that it was even, this wasn't like just, these weren't random people, right? These are my boys. Well, they were my boys. I thought were my boys, and this is a woman that I've been with for years. So this wasn't like, oh, well, I didn't know. Like, it's just like, bro, how could you guys do that? You know, to actively pursue. She told me like, yo, like, do you like? I just want you to see this, like, and it just blew my mind, the fact that they could do this. So for me, I mean, you know, if it's just somebody that I had just kind of talked to, and it was just kind of like, hey, you know, like whatever, like, bro, if you want to go for it. But here's the reason why I didn't continue to talk to her. Let me give you a heads up. Maybe it'll bother you, maybe it won't. But for the most part, it's just like, no, I couldn't do it. Like, even if I tried to, it's going to always be in my head somewhere. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's definitely like if you remotely close try to pursue someone, especially if it's like my baby mother or my ex-wife type thing.
Ex-wife, 2 kids.
It's just like you were plotting from the beginning.
Like, bro, are you serious? Like,
I don't know if they was necessarily plotting from the beginning.
No, I mean, not
because it's, especially in Steve's situation, that's a very small town.
Bruh, it ain't that small.
It ain't that small when you you know what, I'm just going with my dude's ex-wife.
People interact with the people they know and who they're close to.
Okay, let me give you an example because you make a good point. So it is a small town, but right? Now I've been in a situation when I was out partying and drinking and getting it in and being out till 5 a.m., staying up 48 hours, you know what I'm saying? I used to go hard, right? There were times where
staying up 48 hours.
Hey man,
that's a drug. Hey. I've done that, but not on drugs. I've just done it.
Listen, man,
I did it when we first moved to Texas because I was straightening up my room. I couldn't sleep until I straightened up my room.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And plus, I was on. We had the 6-hour energy drink.
I mean, listen, man. Sometimes you get a weekend, you just go hard, right? But anyway, your city is a party city.
That's why I don't do coffee.
Everyone's a little different, man. Maybe, you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of people out there going to be like, oh yeah, I've done that, you know. Anyway, right? You may take a little nap here and there, but I'm talking about for real. You know what I mean? But you pretty much partying for Friday and the Saturday and the Sunday you rest, right? Anyway, there have been times where I've been in the club with my boys and then danced with a girl and then later found out like, yo, that was X and X's baby mom. And I'm like, oh, word? Like she gave me her number. Like, here, what's up, yo? Take my number. And then I literally had her number. She texted me. And then I showed him like, bro, like she texted me. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, yo, that's such and such's baby mom. I'm like, oh, right? I ended up telling my boy like, yo, bro, like just so you know, like there's no funny business, yada yada yada. Like I didn't know, and it was all good, right? It was all good. It wasn't an issue, but I didn't know, right? But there's a difference between being in a small town and then just being out and then dancing with a girl, and then she ends up being somebody's baby mom or somebody's ex-girlfriend, and then you find out, you're like, oh, I didn't know. And then there's a difference between that and then actively pursuing someone's ex-wife. So a little bit of a different situation.
Yeah, that's what's that song? Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Nah, I got to move out of that town, cuz. Yeah, I remember
I don't like small towns.
Because that's why that's kind of why I got into Cincinnati. Because I don't want to just.
Well, Cincinnati's not no small town, though.
It's not.
It is very small.
Small in.
It's when you've lived there your whole life, it shrinks a lot.
Yeah,
it's you. People know people.
Somebody was like, somebody was like, yeah, Fort Worth. I said, yeah, Fort Worth is big. She was like, yeah, it's big, but it's small.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. When you've been there your whole life, it's very small.
Like if I don't like the thing is like I don't like meeting people. Like if I visit Cincinnati, I don't like seeing people that I knew growing up. I don't unless I have like a good relationship with them. I do not like seeing them. So. I don't. That's why I'm kind of glad that we're in Texas. There's a lot of space.
Now Texas got a lot of space.
I got some arm space here. I can move a little bit.
What it is, I just realized that people don't leave Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's so small, and no one's coming there. I mean,
same with York. Like people don't leave. They stay. And I be trying to tell my boys like, man, y'all gotta get up out of there, man. Like,
remember we was in Louisville. We went to what's that? Chaucer's. We used to go to Chaucer's all the time.
I remember Chaucer's.
And there, you go to Chaucer's. It's a nice spot. It's probably one of the best environments to like dance and get on girls and just
was back in the day.
It was, man.
Yeah. What happened to Chaucer's?
And we would shut it down. We would go there, get on the dance floor, and I remember dancing with some random girl. We was getting it in, and then she said something. She was like, "My husband," and I was just like, "Yo, husband? Yeah, my husband's back there." And I was just like, "You up here throwing it back on me, and your husband right here
throwing that thing back?"
And so I was he's like, "Oh, he's okay with it. Doesn't matter." I was like, "All right, cool." So the song stopped, and so I went up to the husband. I was like, "Hey, man," I said, "This is your wife." Like, this is your wife, and I just wanted to make sure, like y'all, she's dancing with me, like she getting it in. I'm just like, oh, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh yeah, man, it's all good. I was just like, okay, it was awkward.
Let me go on back. Let me get back going on.
I mean, she was on me.
I mean, especially that thing was right. You know what I'm saying?
It was weird, but I was just like, yo, if he doesn't mind, We're just
It
dancing.
probably is some weird sexual tension thing that they do. You know, she goes out, gets all turned on by all these hot guys, and then goes back and releases it on him. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Who knows, man?
It's like, yeah, you were dancing with her, that type thing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, nah, man. Because I like to respect people's relationships. So if you at a club and someone was dancing with y'all girls, how would y'all react? Like, would you be upset, or would you be okay with it, or would you let her handle the situation? Like, it's not like a forceful situation. Like, oh, come here, girl.
What do
dance
you
with me.
mean by? What do you clarify?
Twerking, back in that thing. Juvenile come up, everybody run to the dance floor. Yo, girl, like,
Girl, you working with some ass here.
Nah, it ain't even that. It's just that doom, doom. As soon as you hear that, he will come running to the dance floor. And your girl start throwing it down, doing a little thing. And you back there, maybe you're at the bar getting drinks or something. And then you come to the dance floor and you just see her throwing it back on somebody.
Right.
How would you react?
All right, I'm so first. I mean, to be honest with you, if I am, I've always been like this. If I'm in a club, like I'm very trusting. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I did this when we were back in New York, man. When I was dating an old girl, I mean, I would tell her go dance, like, because maybe I just want to chill in the corner and I just want to chill in the corner and just drink, right? Like, I understand that you're not dancing to go home with them. You're just enjoying yourself, and I mean, but to me, I'm open in that way, so I don't mind.
So you cool with your girl throwing it back on some dude? You cool with that?
I mean,
You cool with it? You cool with your girl just throwing it back?
Here's
Girl, you working with some ass, yeah. You know what I mean? And you just back there sipping your drink like, she is working with
It's
some
okay,
ass.
bro. It's good. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing, like, don't be. I mean, you know what I mean, like.
If you're okay with it.
Nah,
said
man,
what he
like,
said.
Oh, it's not for real.
He
Like,
said what he said.
I don't really mind. I mean, like, just dancing, right? Because dancing in and of itself, the act in and of itself.
Yeah, you talking about dancing. I'm talking about throwing it back.
Nah, I'm talking about twerking. You can twerk. You know what I'm saying? Like, now here's the thing. Like, the girl that I'm going to be, the girls that I'm typically with aren't really twerking anyway. Because I have my personal feelings about a lot of that stuff, but they don't really do that anyway. So they're going to be very similar to me in that manner, where, you know, we would dance typically on a wall or something. We're kind of in a corner talking or chilling, something like that. But in general, if she decided she wanted to go dance, and I'm like, nah, man, go ahead, do your thing, right? And she's out dancing with the girls, and then dudes come around, they start dancing. I mean, I'm cool with it.
That's cool. How about you? How you feel about this?
I don't take sand to the beach.
What that mean?
Oh, wow.
If you're going to the beach, why would you take sand?
Because sand's already there.
Exactly.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means he's not taking his girlfriend to a club.
My girl, my wife, the girl I'm dating, maybe, probably, but I'm not taking a girl that I'm in a relationship to the club. If we end up there or whatever, it's already to be determined. Like, you're with me tonight. Like, it's not, you're not running around. You're not flirting with other guys. No.
But what if if y'all just happen to be in a scenario?
Well, I've had that happen.
Oh no!
You keep his Jude.
I'm just saying because
you're working with some ass.
Or maybe Trey Songz, Mr. Steal Your Girl. Come on.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Mr. Steal.
You know what I mean? Then that's her damn bottoms up. She start getting it in, and maybe you're at the bar. And, you know, y'all have some time in.
No, I've had that happen, and I was at the bar getting us drinks. And
boy came through on some old.
It took a while to get the drinks. I come back and it's like, that's what we doing. Yeah, no, that didn't work out good for her.
Yeah. So it's a no bueno situation. But you wouldn't put yourself in that scenario where that would arise.
I mean, obviously it's happened because it's just life. Yeah. But no, I'm not actively going to the club with my girl. That's not happening.
Yeah. Nah. I personally.
Oh, we already know what your answer is.
Y'all know what my answer
is. We are. Well, I know.
It's the extreme version of mine. Opposite extreme. Go ahead.
It's the extreme version of mine is what it is.
Thank you for telling me what I'm
Mel probably about to fight somebody.
All right, let's go ahead. Here.
Why do I have to be violent? I'm not a violent guy.
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
I'm not violent.
He said anymore. He said anymore.
I'm not violent.
Go ahead.
Nah, it's not happening.
Okay.
It's completely unacceptable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If my son,
Here, look, he's getting hype right now.
The extreme opposite of me.
Son, if I go to the dance floor and my girl just throwing it back,
she
on some random dude. Hey, find your way home.
Find your way home.
All right, cool. Y'all enjoy yourself.
Can you pay for an Uber for her?
I'm done.
It's over.
a wrap. It's a wrap. It's unacceptable. Call it what you want. It's
she might as well just been having sex.
Might as well.
Now the thing is, if they're doing like a bachata or if they're doing like just like dances that have like some elegance to it, instead of just like a sexual type feel. Like if they're doing like an actual dance and
so then is winding okay?
Yeah, so like what they're facing each other and they hands in the air.
That's elegant.
It's still sexual. No sexual shit.
Okay, so like Spanish dances, because
my last relationship that I was in, like my girl, she liked to dance.
Right.
She liked to do
bachata.
Not bachata. It's something else I can't think of. It's like a Spanish dance that is not. It's not. It's sort of like the. Damn it, I'm drawing a blank when it comes out of
salsa.
Yeah, it's similar to the salsa.
Tango.
It's similar to the salsa. It's in the same realm.
I know what you're talking about.
But she liked to do that stuff. And we went out to like some Spanish bar. I actually went to a restaurant. And then they just started turning up. I was like, oh, snap. It was like some kind of underground type spot. And it was nice. And they started playing the music. Mm-hmm. And she liked to dance. And there was some dude out there getting. I was just like, why don't you go ask him if he want to dance? Because that's what she likes to do.
Yeah.
She's probably afraid she wouldn't get a ride home. That's probably what
I mean, the thing is, like, I know the type of person she is. And she's not that type of person who would even... She's like a pure angel when it comes to any of that stuff. But
that makes sense.
When they were dancing, it was dope.
Yeah.
And I don't feel any kind of insecurity in all that stuff because they're literally dancing and having fun, and
it's like playing sports.
Dancing, but it wasn't like sexual. Like you feel, I can feel you behind me. Yeah, I feel everything.
Because even if like there's a moment where like maybe they're grabbing hips or something like that. If they don't know each other, there's like a certain respect that dancers have. Yeah. Like I don't know you like that, so I'm not just gonna get all Philly on you. But it's like, for instance, if it was me and her doing the dances and I knew all the dance steps, maybe I would get a little touchy,
little grabby.
So with that, I'm totally fine. Do your little 1-2 step, do all that. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But if Juvenile or Mr. Steal Your Girl come on and you start throwing it back, hey son,
it's over.
You know what I mean? What
if she thought it was you? What if you? No. Hold on a second. What if you were standing right there? It's a crowded club, right? We've all been there. It's a crowded club. All of a sudden, you guys are both drinking. She just starts dancing. Somebody walks up behind her, right? She don't turn around and look. You're with her, but you had got separated.
Where I'm at?
You're close. You were right there.
I'm looking right at her.
Well, that's just all.
I'm looking right at her.
Maybe
your attention went.
Your attention wavered, right?
If it's an honest mistake, cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So if you just turn and you see it, are you going to say something to her?
Oh yeah, he's going to go up there. He's going to separate them.
Because look,
physically,
I had a situation when we was living in New York. This was back when I was with I was with my ex-girlfriend in New York. Mm-hmm. And
we can't say names.
There's no reason to.
I don't want to say her name. It's all good.
There's no point.
Nobody knows.
It doesn't matter.
We were at Webster Hall.
Okay.
And this was back when it was
Webster Hall still open.
It is.
I'm sure
it's still open.
Yeah.
It's probably not the same thing, but it's still open.
That was a huge
man, you know, it would probably look real different now to us.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, they probably did some remodeling and all that stuff. But we went to Webster Hall. And my mentality back then was completely different. This was tap twice and point, man. You know what I mean? This was back when, we going out, tap twice and point if you got a problem.
Right.
You know? And when I met...
Tell them what that meant, man. Tell them what tap twice... Tell them what that meant.
Hey, man. We had some girls, or we had situations where girls, they were friends, they would go out and some guys would approach them. And I would be like, okay, if y'all got an issue, just tap me twice. And then point out the person who got a problem. We got a problem with. Just let me know. Or if we're right next to each other, I'll basically handle it.
Yeah.
I'll basically handle it.
Mel was basically security for the group.
I don't know why it used to be like
We
that.
never even used your services.
Never used his services. He
used
never
his
got
services.
tipped for his security. He never got paid. He just was there.
It happened a lot. Remember Ashley, the redhead chick?
Oh, yeah,
And her little
Ashley.
friend.
Her friend.
It was her and her little friend that came down. Because I remember those
I don't think
two.
who she came with.
It was some skinny girl. I got a picture of her. But they're both a skinny girl.
Oh, the hard drive.
Yeah, I got a
Ashley-
picture of her somewhere. But they tapped twice and point. Like I was just like, hey, cuz not.
They were probably joking though.
Nah.
Oh, they were serious.
Nah, it was some dudes like they were dancing with.
Oh.
Like it was trying to get up on them. You know how sometimes guys are like forcibly trying to dance
Yeah.
on girls or whatever. They tap twice and pointed, But I got into a situation where my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time, she was just dancing, just vibing out and enjoying herself. Some dude came up, and because you know how dudes are, we don't even ask. We just come up like,
We don't even ask.
and just start, getting the dance,
Wow.
And so, oh boy, he was, I guess, trying to dance with her. And then I just looked at him and started laughing. I literally started laughing, and I walked up to him. And I grabbed him by his neck. I mean, it's not anything to be proud of, but
It definitely isn't.
it was just like, I was just like, I said, back up. I said, what are you doing? I started laughing. I was like, what are you doing? Give him the Darth Vader type thing. And he was like,
you force choked him.
it's that type of thing. And he was like, oh man, I didn't know anything. And I was just like, get up out of here, And she's like, you so crazy. What are you doing this for? And yes, I did the accent because she had the Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, you should have let her handle it.
And she was not. Well, I had that Bacardi Limon in me.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I had that Bacardi Limon in me.
Oh, we got to have a whole discussion about Bacardi Limon.
Hey man.
Says show it come out.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh my God.
Bacardi Limon, man. Yeah, but I had Bacardi Limon in me, and so I was feeling a little extra, and I handled that situation the way it needed to be handled. Well, at that
You
time,
handled it poorly.
Yeah,
is what you did.
Not the way it needed
I was
to be
what
handled.
19, at
That
19,
doesn't- you was
20
a
at the
grown
time?
man.
When he was
You was
supposed
a
to be in
grown
it.
man.
Yeah, I was grown, but that mentality was completely different.
Yeah, that was
You know what I mean? So yeah, so I wouldn't handle a situation like that now. But if a girl, if my ex girl, or if a girl that I'm in a relationship with, they're just dancing with someone, or they're dancing and they're thinking that I'm there, and it's just a mistake, I'll be like, it's all good, and if I'll let it be what it is. I won't just hold it around. The thing is, I'm a jokester, so I'll probably play like, won't you go dance with that guy again, or stuff like that. Other than that, I wouldn't hold it in or make them feel bad about it, because I know personally I wouldn't. I don't feel comfortable with that. But as I said, if it's a elegant dance, cool. But if you throwing it back, nah, it's not happening, man.
Ain't no throwing it back.
It's not happening. We got 2 more questions. This okay. She asks, who is your celebrity crush? Or what celebrity / popular content creator would you like to date? That's question 1. I guess, yeah. He said, You don't have anyone?
I mean, not really. I mean, okay, all right, okay. I'm like, all right, I have one. Do I have to say her name? I guess it don't matter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, girl, you see this? I want to let you know I like you. No, her. I think her Instagram is Sylvana Kicks, and she's a martial artist, and I think she's from Canada, and I just
Savannah Kicks.
Sylvana.
Wow.
Let me look her up.
Oh, okay.
I want to see what you're looking like.
You know what I'm saying? But I think it's more or less just her innocence.
What's her name? How you spell it?
Silvina.
Sylvina?
Something like that.
Kicks?
Mm-hmm. Did you spell it right?
I don't know. Silvina?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's not it. I don't see it.
That ain't it?
That ain't it.
Well,
Sylvana Kicks.
right here. Top one. How are you spelling it?
You spelled it completely wrong.
Silvana.
That's not how you spelled it.
How did I spell it?
You INA or IN, whatever, Kicks.
Okay, so it's not completely wrong. It was just a little
it
wrong.
was completely wrong where the thing didn't pop it up. All right, let's check her out. Oh, you got a little thing for the vanilla chick.
She's not vanilla. Why do you?
Vanilla.
Oh no, she's not.
I like that she's like flexible like
I
that.
mean, she's in Mel's range too.
Yeah, it's not about her size or anything.
I think it's
just
dope that she has this.
a lot of you asked me. Okay, anyway, so first of all,
defend it.
I'm definitely defending it because Chris tried to play me like, oh, you got something for the vanilla. Okay,
Mel
maybe
said
I like
that.
that. Okay, I don't care, man. She's more cinnamon. How about that?
This ain't nothing cinnamon.
Okay, well,
This ain't
what's a light spice?
White?
She's
vanilla?
She's not white.
She's a white pepper.
She's not white. And even if she
Okay,
was, it doesn't matter.
Spanish.
Regardless,
She kicks.
Yeah, I think
she be kicking.
She's like Chun-Li.
So she's practiced taekwondo.
She dope. I mean, I think this is
so.
dope.
A lot.
She can't beat a man though.
What? She can't
Go
beat
ahead. Finish.
what is
Go ahead. Give it
So a lot of she just to me is she just comes off when she talks. She's very innocent. She's very open. I see her as very feminine in the way that she moves. But then when she goes into martial arts mode, she's a beast.
She flips a switch.
Yeah. So I like
mask
that.
on.
So that is
that's your celebrity,
that's my celebrity crush.
Content creator. How about you, Chris?
I mean, I'm gonna pick a traditional celebrity, not an Instagrammer.
Jada?
I do. There is
Jada
one.
Pinkett Smith?
There is one.
I don't know his name.
There is one Instagrammers. I was going to Jada. Listen.
What?
Listen.
She belongs to the
Jada
streets.
Jada?
She belongs to the streets.
Jada
Streets.
has been fire for years.
True that.
So let's not get it twisted. All right.
You talking about pure physical looks?
I'm assuming that's what we're talking
Okay.
about. You went into
Celebrity
personality and
crush
stuff.
It's all encompassing. From what
I don't
you know.
think so because you can't know them from their
From what
Instagram
you know.
and stuff. No, I don't think you can.
From what you know.
But this is him.
Jada's
Oh no! Don't try to stop me because y'all interrupted the hell out of me.
No, I just said
Jada.
Y'all interrupted the hell out of me.
I wanted to see her.
Okay,
Jada-
that's fine. Y'all interrupted the hell out of
Listen,
me. So don't. No.
Jada's
Don't
a
play
man
me.
eater, but she's fire. Okay, I ain't even about to hold you.
Call her man.
But
She is a man eater.
She's a monster card effect.
She is.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
And we would never work ever, not even on the slightest. On the sexual level, but other than that, we would never work. I mean, August, you need me. If August, you need me to step in. You need me to you tag me in. You know what I'm saying?
God.
But Megan Good, Megan Good.
It's a good pick.
Megan Good, and then also there's this girl on Instagram. Instagram. You said followers and Instagram,
Content creator or celebrity.
but I don't know her. I don't actually know her like IG. I don't follow her.
You just saw her.
What's her name?
No.
So you brought up someone.
You can't.
So you
that's
brought up.
That's invalid.
Thank you. Why would you even try to add an extra person? You don't even know who she is.
She kind of looks like Megan Good, so.
Okay. Well, whenever we figure this girl out, maybe we'll pop her Instagram.
Listen,
I didn't even think about her. She's bad.
She does lot. She's had her hair a lot for like 20 years. She looks like Megan Good.
Yeah. Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Now, Megan Good's a good option. I didn't even think about her because I was thinking about this prior. I was like, I would go with Jhené Aiko. Like, Jhené Aiko is my... The thing is, like, I have so much respect for her, but...
She's nasty.
But she's spiritual as well.
Jhené is a good pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Jhené Aiko would definitely be my... Obviously, I love her music, but, man, she's so beautiful.
We just talking about looks, right?
Yeah.
Because Megan Good, she kind of for the streets, too.
You like them girls? You just picked 2 girls. It's for the streets.
No, the other girl, she not from the
We
street.
don't know who the other girl is.
We don't. Okay, well I threw in Jada.
She's an unlockable character right
She's
now.
from
She's unlockable.
She's from Canada. She's bad. She's bad. I followed.
It would be nice to know who she was.
I followed her for a while. She was dating some dude. I think they broke up. I think I might have slid in.
We
her
might have to
DMs.
go to
You
Canada.
slid in her DMs.
She might
Drake
not.
might have got to it
She
before
might
you
not
did.
ever saw him. I don't know.
She probably ain't never seen.
Hey,
it.
She probably didn't.
You
see
only
it.
miss the shot you don't take.
Yeah, I shot.
I don't.
My DM is still sitting in her and old girl's DM unread. I guarantee that.
I
She
do
has, like,
not.
so many followers.
Oh my god,
I do not.
Absolutely.
I do not limit myself like that. Any girl that has the opportunity to sit down with me is going to like me. Unless I'm just, you know what I'm saying, not really. Unless it's a me thing.
Yeah.
But you might not be physically attracted to me. I'm not guaranteeing that. But if you sit down with me, you're going to be like, yo, Chris is dope.
Yeah.
I might not be your cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but this whole league thing, this whole idea that there's leagues and stuff, I'm outside of that.
You don't acknowledge it.
I just don't acknowledge it. I know it exists, like, don't get me wrong, but for me personally, I've never thought, man, that girl's out of my league. That's just me.
Yeah.
If I see Jada and Will slipping, no, I'm joking. I'm just
What do you mean if you see?
I'm joking, because honestly, I got too much respect for Will. I really do. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah.
Yeah, she's that's yeah, I go Janae Aiko, and aside from Janae Aiko, I mean, there's a lot of bad Instagram chicks on there. I mean, but you can just go through Instagram and be like, I want her.
But here's the thing about Instagram though, they don't be real.
Yeah,
though.
they're not real.
They don't be real girls.
Yeah.
I was actually chatting with
Like somebody's like, well, how are they not real? What do you mean?
filters, makeup, angles, shadowing, Photoshop. Should I go on? Like they're not real.
Dude, there are some people that I have met that online, I'm like, yo, you look really good. And then in person, it's like, you just look like a completely different person. Like, now I understand, like, if you're taking pictures and stuff as a photographer, I know you can take a picture and you can take something, you can do some things with it, right? But I'm talking about completely different. Like, you don't even look anywhat near like you did before.
Yeah.
Filters, bro. Because when we think about filters, we just think, oh, it just softens your face. No, they got the filters now that can alter your face.
Oh, dude, I can alter anything.
Did you send him that thing you showed me?
Which
With that video of that girl?
Oh, the before and after that thing.
Yeah, she slid right back into
it. Like there was a filter, and it was a super crazy filter, and she was in it, and then she looked great, and it looked real, and then she slid out of it, and it was her real face, and it was just like, wow,
like it was a completely different.
And then
human
she
being.
literally was like,
she slid right back.
She slid right back into the filter. Like, dang. I mean, there are apps, as you know, for business that I've used that literally you can alter someone's face. I'm not even talking about Photoshop.
That's just how it is now, though. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, while it may be like, oh, this is sucky for us, this new generation, they're built into it.
You make their eyes bigger. If they don't smile in the picture, I can make them smile.
Yeah.
You can do so many things.
But yeah, another celebrity crush would be Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
I was surprised that wasn't the first.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say her first, but I mean, I didn't. I mean,
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, but Janae.
Oh, vanilla.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, you try to blame me.
Yes.
But mine wasn't vanilla.
He said yes.
Yours was vanilla.
She's not vanilla.
He denied it.
Yeah, he did.
I accepted it.
Yeah, he did it.
There's nothing wrong. I like what I like. I like.
There's
all
nothing wrong with
colors.
what you
I like all colors.
But when I say it's vanilla, you're just
she's
like,
not.
oh no, she's not
But
vanilla.
she's not.
She's not. Yes, she is. If anyone was to see this picture, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's a vanilla chick. Period. But it's all good. There's nothing wrong with that.
She's got some flavor.
All right. And,
She's got a little bit
and vanilla is flavor.
She got a little bit of seasoning.
She got a little, what's that, granulated sugar.
She got a little.
She got enriched sugar.
She got a little bit of turmeric in
I
her.
mean,
Wow.
I mean, but what's her name? Scarlett Johansson. Man,
I like Scarlett,
She's
too.
always been like one of my crushes.
That's right. Yeah.
I've
a long time.
I've always liked Scarlett, man.
Yeah.
She nice.
You're special. I like you.
I saw her in the movie. I was like, who is that girl? What's her name? You ever see?
Who's that girl?
La 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 la. You ever see like a girl, just a random chick, maybe in a movie? You be like, she bad, and you wait till the credits to come up. You remember her name, and you get her name.
No, I've never
You never
done
done
that.
that?
You never done that
No.
before?
You never done
No, I've never done that.
You've never looked at like a pretty girl in a movie and be like, I wonder what her name is. And
No.
like, looked up pictures of her.
No, Because
So what's the point?
Chris,
What-
like,
what's
I don't
the-
watch movies.
What's the point?
Right.
Listen. My mind works differently. I'm not going to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So the chance of me getting her, if I see a girl I like, my mind goes into okay, how do we get her? Like so.
You don't think it's plausible for you to meet or date a girl in Hollywood?
I've only been to California once, and at the time, I mean, this just happened, and I'll go back, but just I'm not about to be out in there. So no, my mind goes to like if there's a girl that's within my reach, yeah, I'll look her up.
I mean, technically, everything is in your reach.
100%. I'm not saying it's impossible to get to her. I'm just saying for what I'm willing to do. I'm not going to Hollywood to find this girl. Like, there's plenty of girls close to me that are it's way more convenient that are just as bad, if not better. I don't got to worry about the whole Hollywood thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
True.
Okay. Let's she had the second half of her question.
That was the second half?
That was one half.
Yeah.
You wild. She wants to know, have you and two, have who would you
Try again. Start
I mean,
over.
I'm reading the question.
Translate it.
I'm trying. You translate it. I'll say it. And two, have who would you hang out with for an entire day from the past or present?
Okay, she's saying and as in addition.
Yeah,
to,
in addition to,
who would you like to hang out to? Who would you like to hang out with for an entire day?
See how y'all did
from the past or
that?
present?
And that's why I asked it the way it was. Bam. All right. Who would you hang out with for an entire day from the past or present?
Mel, you go first.
The past, I would want to hang out with Muhammad Ali. I would love to hang out with Muhammad Ali, soak up some game, or even people I look up to: Steve Jobs, Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, Jay-Z. That would be so sick. Like to hang out with these people.
So all of them?
Yeah, why not? Probably not at the same time because you have to be able to cherish that moment and relish in it. I mean, Muhammad Ali, you get to learn like his mindset, his beliefs, and everything that he stands for. Like, why would you want to be around that? Steve Jobs, his mindset to develop and innovate. That's the word I'm looking for. To innovate different things and look at it from a different perspective, because he changed the entire game and the landscape of the cell phone game. And it's basically impacted the entire world on a catastrophic level in some sense, And Bruce Lee is his wisdom and his commitment to his art, from dedication from when he was a child, man, being focused in his martial arts, man, like his discipline. And he has all that skill, but he doesn't abuse it, which is a beautiful thing about martial arts. And Jay-Z, his business mindset, from him to come from the streets, to come from the hood, to be one of the most impactful people that affects genres. You know what I mean? Like just think about that. Jay-Z used to sell crack. He used to sell drugs on the streets. And now this dude has elevated to being a billionaire, affecting things that happen in the NFL, owner of NBA teams. Man, like, bro, this dude is like the pinnacle or the epitome of coming from the streets, coming from nothing and making something out of your situation. So that's why, like, anybody who come from the hood or come from the streets, like, I've never, like, prior to Jay-Z, Lil Wayne was always on my radar. Or at least Chris knows that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Lil Wayne was on my radar, but then, Chris introduced me to Jay-Z and listening to his music, because at first I was like, nah, I'm good. But the first album that I listened to from Jay-Z was Kingdom Come. And that's the album that he released when he first came back from his retiring. And a lot of people, they gave that.
Wow, that was the first album
That's the first album I listened to. Obviously, I heard.
He's telling that's the first album.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard music, like girls
still.
and all that stuff, but that's the first album that I listened to. It's like, oh, Jay-Z's really, he's spitting, he's talking some stuff. And then I went back to like Reasonable Doubt, and then I caught up, and American Gangster is probably one of my favorite albums and all that stuff, because he is giving game. Like, throughout his entire career, he's giving game, and his words, it's just like I admire him on a completely different level, man. So yeah, those would be the 4 people that I would want to talk to, past and present. I know that was probably like a little deep, but you know what I mean. Like I even, you know what? I'm not gonna get into that. Your turn.
He gave you so much time.
It's not that I don't have. Okay, so you came up with 4 people. I was like, well, I don't have 4 people. I mean, probably if I had more time to think about it. Mel's already had this question. So
no, I didn't think about this question. I didn't even acknowledge that question. I mainly focused on the celebrity crush stage.
Oh, okay. So I know this is going to be a kind of a weird answer, but I mean, I have my reasoning. So I really am into history, and I really enjoy understanding and learning about things in the past, and so it helps us to learn and see things for the future. Oh, you right now.
Oh, you going there? Oh, go ahead.
So
it was just my intuition.
So the one person that I would really want to spend a day with is Adolf Hitler.
Oh man.
Because
I think it's a good choice.
I have questions, and it's not questions as in like, you know, he's an evil person. Like, wait a minute, this is neither here nor there. Right? How you feel about things? It doesn't matter. I don't care about any of that. Right? The part that we don't think about, that gets washed out by all the bad things, is that how did he get to the point where he was? He came from just being in the military to then working his way up to then taking over the entire German government, and then basically essentially brainwashing the entire country to get behind him and to, you know, do what he wanted them to do. As a speaker, as an aspiring speaker myself, he's an amazing speaker. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best speakers that have ever walked the planet. Yeah. Right? He has ways to convince, and he has ways to convey a message. And I would love to sit and have a conversation with him and spend the day with him and just be like, what inspired you to talk? What inspired you to do what you do? And how did you get this conviction, right? I mean, his level of confidence. Now, he was extremely arrogant. He had a crazy ego, but he had a level of confidence behind him as well that helped him to accomplish the things that he did. And I mean, other than, once again, you know, the things that we do know about him, and obviously we're in America, so of course he's being painted due to propaganda in a very ugly light. But if you look at, you know, if you go back and you go into Germany, this was why I want to visit Germany, he's revered in a very different way. So I would love to kind of have that conversation with him. But yeah, that's probably my one person. The other person obviously I would really like to talk to is I always say Bezos, it's not who it is. It's Elon Musk. I don't know why I always think Bezos when I think of Musk, but Elon,
because they're both billionaire playboys,
right? That's correct. But Elon in general, like, he just thinks he just thinks so differently, and he's just like, he's not cocky, but he's just like, I mean, nobody can touch me. Like, I can do what I want to do, right? I just want to see how he thought of the way that he thinks. And I don't know, Chris, maybe it's just me, but I feel like in a weird way he's on the autism spectrum.
Oh, he 100%.
Okay, all right, so it's not just me, right?
Yeah,
so
it's 100%.
So it's just like, you know, like trying to understand him, it can be difficult sometimes, not the way he speaks, but how he
thinks.
Yeah, how he thinks. Because autistic people have a lot of superpowers, basically. They think way differently than we do, but he's so high functioning, he's able to do it in a different way, and I would love to just talk to him.
Basically, autistic children or just people on that spectrum are basically geniuses.
Right.
I mean, that's the autism tends to, for whatever reason, something about, I don't know, the genius in our world, it attaches to genius people. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, man. So Hitler and Musk.
Hitler and Musk. Chris, who we got? Past or present?
Well, you know, I thought about a few different people, but if I had to be 100% honest with myself, it'd be the first person.
The first person on Earth?
The first person.
In existence?
In existence.
Wow, that's a deep...
It would I try, I want to pick Jay-Z. You already know. I thought about my Uncle Brian. I thought, but it would have to be the first person, because forget everything that I do now that is relevant now. Honestly, like, what's the most important to me is the truth. Like,
wow.
I am a dedicated truth seeker, which is why, I'm an open-minded person. You got to be open-minded when you seek the truth. And I really want to know stuff. So similar to reason to Steve choosing Hitler, I want to know. I want to know things. You know what I'm saying?
What would you ask him? Or a couple questions that you would want to know if you met the first person?
The interesting thing is, there's got to be rules to this, right? I got to be able to communicate with them.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, y'all probably don't even speak the same language, but obviously it'll have to be a scenario where you all can,
right? Because otherwise it's worthless almost.
Yeah. Just be sitting there staring at
each other, staring at her,
like, you're you, but I don't know what to do with you.
But part of being able to communicate with them is knowing the first language. Mm-hmm. I think that knowing the first language is one of the most important things we could ever have knowledge of, because all the knowledge and everything that we read now was originally derived from the first language.
Correct.
Which means that if we know what the first language is, maybe we can kind of turn, like, untranslate things and get it in its purest form, in the state that it was meant, so that we can actually absorb the knowledge. Like, I just look at it from a standpoint of what I could do with that knowledge. So knowing the first language, also, it's the $1 million, the $1 billion, the $1 trillion question. Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you come to be? So those two things alone would be worth it. But obviously, if I'm talking to them and they've already fully experienced their life, that means I get to ask, how long did you live? How did you die? Did you die? Like, I would ask all kinds of questions.
That's deep. I like that.
I didn't even think about the first person. I mean, I was like, maybe you'll be around dinosaurs.
Here we go.
You'll be around dinosaurs, and
prior to dinosaurs.
And I would be. So, do you think that dinosaurs came before humans? Oh, I forgot. Dinosaurs don't exist. I forgot. I forgot. Because I was literally going through the scenario. And I remember one of my friends.
Well, depending on what you believe in, God didn't say God created the Brontosaurus Rex first.
I mean, technically, we aren't really in the year 2022.
Hey, man.
That's a whole nother.
We're not even a year. People just like, you know what?
In 2022.
What happened before that?
AD.
You know what I mean? But that's just all part of control. But hey, that's another time. That's another discussion for another time, man. That was y'all got any more comments y'all want to do before we wrap up, or y'all good money?
I'll say I appreciate everyone who's been supporting the podcast. We're having a lot of fun. Whenever I get feedback about the podcast, it's always great. Even the people that hate on us and, try to make me seem like I'm crazy or stupid or whatever the case is, I appreciate your viewership. Thanks for bolstering our platform.
Thanks for the views, you haters.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. So this has been fun. We're going to keep doing it. And, yeah, that's it.
How about you, Steven? You good?
Hey, man, at the end of the day, right, I think just like any podcast, it's our opinion. It's coming from our perspective. And we're
speaking our truth.
That's essentially. I really don't like that.
I don't either.
But that's essentially where this is coming from, which means you don't have to agree with it, and that's okay, right? You have the opportunity to voice that, and it's just it is what it is, and also. There's also things that we all say that we all don't agree with, right? Like, so there's some things that maybe Mel says that I don't agree with, maybe Chris says that I don't agree with, and vice versa. And it's okay. So just like you all have your own opinions, we all have our own opinions, and it's okay for us all to have our own opinions and our own thoughts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate every single last one of you, especially my closest friends over here to my left and my right. And yeah, man, we're going to keep on rocking like a baby in the cradle. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, man, we're going to keep it rocking.
Mel rapped in the past life.
I still rap it.
You still rapping?
Who's that on the intro that people rocking with?
Oh!
I don't know, man. That's somebody, but shout out to him, man. You feel me? But yeah, man, this is a lot of fun. We will see you all in the next one. I am Animated Mel. I am that I am. Chris James, Stephen Michael. We are the Application of Knowledge Podcast, and we will see you, beautiful people. Okay.
People.
Later. Peace. And love.